What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. Well, we have our first, I don't know if it's our first official, but we have our first, I guess, significant SPS pre-proposal. And before we even jump into any of that, I want to give a shout out to both Peak Monsters as well as Splex, because they both added a new tab or like a new page where you can go and see everything. So Peak Monsters, they actually put in the first official one to create a dashboard for this. Splex went ahead and did one as well, but the proposal that Peak Monsters put in, I think they wanted to be paid like 1 SPS to do this. I think it was more so just a test. If it was not, then let me know, but that's why I'm kind of skipping over it and going to the one that was put in by Genepool Chlorinator. So let's go ahead and dive into this one. And I'm sorry, I pulled up the Splex side, but I didn't actually click on the new proposals. So as you can see here, it shows you how many votes it has. It shows you how many votes in SPS, which is the important thing, not the Hive votes. And then it tells you whether or not we have crossed the minimum SPS needed, and then the current status of whether or not it is actually passing, once again, from an SPS or not SPS. From an SPS or non-SPS, again, not Hive. So you can see here that something like this has, well, I guess it's looking pretty good right now. So let's go ahead and jump into the actual proposal here. So the DAO is currently staking 2 million SPS, and I believe it has close to 60 million SPS sitting in it. According to Splex here, the SPS DAO account has 58 million SPS at the time of this writing, and only 2 million of it is staked. So Genepool is thinking that we should be doing something with that capital in the DAO. Now, I have thrown out a bunch of ideas. I'm not even going to try to say that they're all good because I don't always throw out good ideas. My point is just to throw out, my plan is just to throw out ideas, have you guys poke holes in them, and if they stick, then they stick. But I just want us to be doing something with the capital in the DAO, whether that's buying DEC to help with PEG, whether that's buying up a bunch of the Chaos packs, whether that's buying Rift Watchers packs. I don't know, right? Like, I just want us to be doing something, or sorry, buying Chaos packs to set up the Nifty Arcade, Nifty Arcade scholarships is what I wanted to do. And so again, I just wanted to be doing something beneficial, either for itself, like this proposal, or for the community and the game as a whole. So this proposal is probably more for the DAO itself and ensuring the longevity of the DAO, because what Genepool is essentially proposing here is to take roughly half of the SPS that is in there. So we have 2 million staked right now. He wants to take another 28 million out of that 58 million and start staking it as well. That will return a yield of roughly 50% APR, which includes 3 things, right? More SPS, but also vouchers and GLX. Don't forget that GLX is being airdropped right now. So again, it would add value to the DAO. It would somewhat diversify the holdings of the DAO. And, overall, it would, well, here's the thing. We would be giving up some of our yield, right? Because the more SPS that is staked, and we can go and see right now. Actually, we don't need to go and see, because I think he said down here it's going to be roughly like 6% of the. It's gonna be yeah, here you go. 6.3% of the SPS staking yield will go to the DAO if the DAO were to do this, right? Because I believe we have 460 something SPS currently staked. That might be higher. 476 million SPS, and that's roughly half, because we have 471 that is currently liquid. Now, keep in mind, all of the SPS that is in the DAO that is not obviously staked already is considered liquid. So even though we can't touch it, right? Even though it can't be sold or whatever, I mean, well, it can be, but we'd have to make that decision and vote on it ourselves. That is all technically considered liquid. So we'd be removing a little bit more, not off the market, but off of this liquid number here, and adding it on, and probably get well above 500 million staked. So, because again, that would be increasing over time. So I'm not sure how I feel about it yet, because I was actually discussing this with Vet V live on today's live stream. And so, I think it's a great idea. And my counterpoint, it wasn't even a counterpoint, but just another idea, since we're talking about this now, was maybe the DAO should be providing liquidity to the LPs. And the reason that I was going in that direction was because we don't want all of that sell pressure on the LPs. And the LPs right now are paying decently well. We can go over here to the pools, and you can see that like SPS Hive, for example, is paying out roughly 50% as well. You can see if we wanted to go off-chain or cross-chain, 45% for Wrapped ETH and 44% for BNB. So not as high. But one of the things that I talk about with the liquidity pools is simply the fact that, like, if I am long-term bullish in the game and I just want to compound my earnings, so basically claim this SPS, and then I would have to sell half of it for either Hive, Ethereum, or BNB in order to compound those gains. And so the DAO doesn't necessarily have to do that, right? The DAO can just provide that liquidity and then earn on it. It doesn't have to keep compounding. It can just sit on that SPS because it's going to need to use that SPS at some point in the future. And I don't mind there being some SPS there that is just sitting there and not working, right? Like, so again, is this the best idea? I don't know. And obviously I didn't, I haven't made a proposal for it. I'm just kind of talking about now that the cat is out of the bag for something like this, I think that a broader conversation can be had. So when it comes to this, I am actually going to vote for it. Not because I want it to pass the final vote, but just because I want it to go to a final vote. I would love to see the team's response to this, the team's perspective on this, and they may even give it regardless. But again, if things don't pass like the preliminary or the pre-proposal vote, they probably won't spend much time talking about it because the community, in a way, has already spoken. So if we do get it to that level, I am voting yes for it just because I want to have that conversation. And I'd love to see what the team thinks about, utilizing the DAO funds for this purpose, or if we can have a broader conversation and maybe amend it at a later time, right? So again, I think it's a good idea. Well, let me put it this way. And all love to Gene Pool, right? I love the fact that he is taking some initiative here and really trying to dive right in with these player proposals. And this is something that will not or should not require any dev work. It's just custodial work of like taking the assets and then staking it, right? Like literally logging into the SPS.DAO account and then staking that much SPS. So what I would love to see with this is, I love the spirit of it. Let me put it that way. I love the spirit of it, and I want to continue this conversation further. So I will be voting for it. But before we even get there, and I'm curious to know what you guys think. I'm curious to know how you're feeling about, one, the process overall, now that we're actually seeing it in place. But is this the best idea in your opinion? I was talking about LPs. I don't know if there's other vehicles to I guess diversify out of or into when it comes to what the DAO holdings are consist of. But again, this is roughly half of what's sitting in the DAO. I just want us to be doing something with the DAO. This is not my first preference. I would rather the DAO be helping the game economy overall. But then again, we just passed the DECB proposal, and we have some other things, some other DEC sinks and burns potentially coming up in the first 2 quarters of the year. So I can't necessarily complain. This might be a good way to ensure that the DAO has something to build upon in the future, especially with Riftwatcher packs being super slow. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Just wanted to cover it real quick and get the conversation here started. Now, keep in mind, we have 7 days, and you can go, like I said, to either Peak Monsters or Splex. They have both of these up where you can see where things are currently sitting at, and it shows how much time is left. So you can see it expires here for my time in the US, 4:49 p.m. on January 19th. Again, it's looking like it's going to pass, which I think is good. Keep in mind, this is not the final. This is just a preliminary or pre-proposal to bring it. And again, for me, I'm not even saying that I'm going to vote for it in the final proposal or when that final proposal goes up. I just want to see what that conversation looks like with the broader team and with the broader community. If it is discussed in, town hall, it's already being discussed on Map Chat, but if it's being discussed in the town hall. So that's all I have. Shout out to Gene Pool for burning 100,000 DEC. You are awesome for taking one for the team, and I think that this is a great start, is what I will say. All right, guys, that's all I have. Have an amazing rest of your day. I'll catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.